Hello, fellow classmates and professor. Today, my topic will be about mental illness, an issue that just recently has begun the focus it deserves, but not for everybody, as I believe mental illness is only brought up amongst ourselves, not really brought up about how inmates, prisoners, people locked up by the government face. For example, there's a ton of people in jails that suffer mental illness. Around 15 to 20% of them have been diagnosed with mental illness. But what has been done to help them out? There's obviously a solution to this, and just having the conversation about it, I feel like is a great solution. It's a great way to start, actually, since a lot of athletes, just celebrities, have brought this attention to like the more common people. To me, the solutions are to stop mass incarceration, open more rehabbing hospitals, and what I believe is most important is to acknowledge the issue and not hide from it, which I believe we have done again. They have a little opportunity to survive once they get out, as mental health is bringing them downwards. The main reason is because they're humans, but there's more reasons, interesting reasons why. The solution to deal with inmates is to create a hospital or center to send those who are suffering from mental illness to get help. This issue is important because, first of all, mental illness who suffer from it can hurt other people in prisons. Not just hurt themselves, but they can harm other people due to not getting care. The issue is important due to various reasons. The most obvious is according to Dr. Glenn Xiong. For those affected with it, prison, once they get out, don't commit a crime due to mental illness. On his article, Why It's Important to Care for Your Mental Illness by Dr. Xiong, he had great information. For example, he said it helps the government and prisons because they're overpopulated and they can use that resources to send them to places that they can actually learn something. That's why I believe mass incarnation is a very bad thing for them. In a lot of cases, prisons are to blame for this mental illness, though. Like, I've seen how mental illness is actually what's it called? Is actually learned or gained from them being treated so horribly in jails. For example, there was just a person not so long ago. His name was what was his name? Prisons gotta do better to prevent this, and the government has to have to look at it. In Santa Clara County, California, in 2018, very close to us, prisoner guards were charged for murder over the killings of Michael James Pippin Tyree. They beat that man to death, and other inmates who were interviewed, who were asked about their opinions about this thing, agreed that they didn't necessarily just kill them to death. They bullied him to death. They would bully Michael James, and they would bully other inmates. And those three guards, fortunately, were fired, but were under no prosecution and are still free for doing this horrible, horrible, horrible things. So yeah, prisons gotta do better to prevent these type of situations. It doesn't only affect the ones with mental health issues; it also affects others. Having inmates with these issues can be a serious risk of harm for other inmates, like I said before. For example, one of the inmates can just snap at any moment and attack somebody and get their life taken away from them because the mental illness patient wasn't somewhere safe with himself only. Inmates can also hurt themselves. For example, there has been a lot of suicides recorded. Suicides is the leading cause of death in prisons. In 2016, over 1,000 people died in local jails. Many, many of them tragic results of healthcare and jail systems that fail to address serious health problems among the jail population and the trauma of being in jail itself. The jail suicide rate is far higher than state prisons or among the American population in general, according to an article by Alexis Jones, which had great information. Mental illness and incarceration go hand in hand. Research shows that while it varies from person to person, incarceration is linked to mood disorders, anxiety, etc., etc. I believe if what's it called, if we have more rehabilitations for the mental illness. For example, there's a judge named Judge Leifman who has been a great force in helping inmates with mental illness with his contributions. He is a judge from Miami-Dade County Court, home to the largest percentage of people with serious mental illness of any urban community in the United States. He has helped a lot of people, and he spends over $500,000